Hey, hi! It's day 23 of my Endometriosis Diary, and I didn't do a diary yesterday. That would have been my day 22, but life got in the way. Life was happening, and we had a friend over, good friend over, and we spent the day talking. She's been watching my videos, and we spent the day talking about all of what's going on with us, which was really amazing. It was like 6 hours of intense conversation about how we're doing, our lives, our health issues, our various conditions and things, and it was therapeutic, and we cried and we laughed, and that's what friendship should be about, isn't it? Sharing and helping each other through all the tough times and the good times, and celebrating our womanhood, celebrating our friendship. So yeah, that's what was happening, and then we all went to a gig in that was great. Roy Harper. Many people might not know who that is, but if you like folk music, then I'd recommend looking up Roy Harper, in particular, like Stormcock or something like that, because he's just an absolute wonderful, beautiful poet and songwriter from the 60s and 70s. He's great. He's 77 years old, and what an absolute inspiration, still kicking it out up there. So anyway, when I last did a video on the 22nd, on the 21st, I was feeling absolutely rough as a dog, and the reason was because, as far as I've worked out, the reason was because I was ovulating. So I was experiencing pain and discomfort, bowel pain, having multiple trips to the toilet. I talked about this on the day, and yeah, a cycle like a period, like the same symptoms of a period. Because I was really fatigued, and had like really bad brain fog as well. I couldn't concentrate because I was in so much pain that it was affecting it was affecting my brain, basically, thinking, my mind. So that day I decided, I'll have some paracetamol. So I had a paracetamol. I've talked to you about this before, how that's pretty much the only medication that I use. And I also sometimes use ibuprofen gel. So I'll put that straight onto the area that is painful. So for me, that's the lower left area of my abdomen, and round to the back of my ribs, because I also have pain just under my left ribs, which has occurred since having the surgery, and it gets worse when I have a endometriosis cycle or ovulation. And the reason that I know it was ovulation, or that I've worked out that it was ovulation, was because I chart, and I've talked about charting before. I've talked about keeping a note of your cycles, of when you have an endocycle. If you've still got your womb, then when you bleed, and really important to keep a record, keep a diary of that, of when you bleed, how it was, and write it all down, so that you know the time of your cycles, how long it's going to take, when you might be struggling, when you might be ovulating. And it's actually, doing this video has really hit it home to me this time. It's really helped me, because I've been observing myself and my cycle under a microscope, and it's really helped me to understand, like, when I have an endo cycle, and then when I have a ovulation cycle, because in the past I've kind of mistaken an ovulation cycle for maybe something that I've eaten that has disturbed my bowel and made me feel very unwell. But now this time I've really got to see that it is, I'm pretty convinced that it is an ovulation cycle, and it's like 3 days of symptoms of ovarian pain, like sharp stabbing pain in my ovary, so specifically on the right hand side, because that's the only ovary that I have now, and this lower bowel pain, and going multiple trips to the toilet. So, you know, it's I basically have diarrhea, and then that affects, like, you know, piles and things like this, and makes it really uncomfortable. You know, my actual bum is really uncomfortable, my rectum is really uncomfortable, and all of that digestive issues, all those digestive issues also affect my mind and how I think, and how I'm able to cope with the world. So like I say, I had the paracetamol, and it's like, okay, it didn't really do anything, to be honest. It took the edge off a little bit, but it didn't do much. And I put the ibuprofen gel on, and that kind of eases it a little bit, eases the swelling down a little bit. But it got so bad in the evening, I was so crippled in the evening, and I sat on the sofa with Bez, that I had some CBD extract. Within 10 minutes, it felt like the pain had been sucked out of my body. So I was pretty blown away by this. I've used CBD before, but it's, you know, and it's helped, but it's not been so dramatic before. It was literally 10 minutes and the pain dissipated, like I say, like being sucked out, and I could think clearly, and I just was like, what the fuck, that is amazing, that is totally amazing. So CBD, if you don't know what CBD is, it's a cannabinoid. So it's an extract of hemp. It's an extract of the cannabis plant. It's legal. It's not the THC. THC is the high, is the component within marijuana that gives you the high. Okay, but CBD is like a muscle relaxant, and helps to ease pain, and people with Parkinson's disease and epilepsy, it can really help people with those conditions, and it can also help people with endometriosis, it seems. And I took small amounts throughout yesterday, and it really helped. I still continued to have a little bit of pain yesterday, but it was manageable. It was really manageable. I could go and do things. Like I say, I spent the day with my friend, and then we went to a gig, you know, and I didn't feel out of it. I was able to function and enjoy the gig and all of this. So I just wanted to enthuse about that, really. So yeah, maybe I'll try and put some. Well, just have a look online, because there's all sorts of different CBD available out there, yeah. If you think that is something that you want to try, then try, I guess. See how you feel, see if it works for you. Okay? Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.